Hello everybody, welcome back to Goggle Card Reviews. We are returning back here with another scrap bowl. Apologies that we've been kind of uploading these out of order, but certain things take priority over others. The missing episodes will be up in due time, do be patient. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about quite the recent subject here, we're going to be here to talk about JKTCG on this 16th episode of the Scrap Bowl.
Well, JKTCG. It's funny because us as a Japanese channel, you would never predict us to talk about JKTCG.
Right.
So, of course, with the closure of JKTCG, this is more to pay respects to JK as a shop and, of course, Jun himself.
Right. So, just to provide some background for those who may or may not be aware, JKTCG is a community resource and vendor run by none other than Jun Oh, a well-known Wise Wars veteran. Jun established the business on August 6, 2015, primarily to assist players of the English game by establishing a price guide for singles, while also offering a limited opportunity for customers to purchase cards online or in person at its vendor booth at the Frank & Sons Collectibles Show in the City of Industry, California. But with the rise of online vendors with their own storefronts, or using the likes of TCG Player, Jun has come to decide JKTCG's services were no longer necessary and will terminate the business as of this coming April 6, 2021.
Pressing F now for JKTCG.
Pretty much. Alrighty.
Poor JK, poor Jun.
Yeah, poor one out for Jun and JKTCG indeed, right?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, we'll go ahead and move on here.
Alright, what is JK? So, JK is a community online resource with the purpose of acting as a price guide for the English market, while also offering limited quantities of sealed products, singles, and other miscellaneous card game items such as sleeves, playmatch for sale through its online storefront and its vendor booth. Jordan felt that someone had to step in and establish a foundation of an English Wise Wars market, so he took it upon himself to crack open cases and provide such a price guide and resource. Jordan intentionally made the online order process harder for people outside of the greater Los Angeles area to order stuff from JKTCG, to push them to buy from their local vendors and game stores, or even from more established online vendors.
Right. So, people will tend to, whenever you hear someone say something bad about JKTCG, it's usually never about, bad customer service or anything like that. It's usually, this website's hard to order from.
It is, man!
It is! So, to provide context for the viewers who may not be too well aware, the way they'll order from JKTCG is they scroll through their catalog, which is actually, apparently the HTML is written in, Jun revealed it himself, that's literally written in a Google Sheet document, and go through that, literally enter the quantity and card number, and write those out in effectively a notepad format, and
send it in an email.
Yeah, in an email, and then someone from JKTCG, Jun himself or any of his members of his team, will then go, okay, we have them. Here's an invoice that we will provide through none other than Square.
I'm just going, okay, so the one time, my play in English was so brief that I can even hardly remember it anymore. So I did order one deck off JKTCG, and I was just like, number one, why is this deck so expensive? Number two, it was original Love Live, I remember that much. And number two, I was like, man, why is this ordering process so complicated? My local store doesn't even have the cards I need. And LOL ordering it from a place like Ideal 808, and TCG Player is like, what's Weiss?
At the time, right. The game really started to know what Wise Wars really was until, I believe, 2017, 2018 at the earliest, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd say around 2019, so about 2 years ago.
Oh, it's more recent than that? Dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. and the thing is that, look, of course, that's probably my biggest criticism of JK. So let's get this straight here. Let's separate Jun O and JKTCG, because you see, JKTCG is one of the I view, like, when you put up that poll of what do you think of JKTCG, I go, you know what, a necessary good. And I'm actually going to defend my opinion of necessary good here. We're already, and for those of you that may or may not be aware, prices have already started spiking due to even before JKTCG officially closes next week or in the following weeks. Like, prices have already started spiking, and this is just the start of it. They will eventually spiral out of control. I know Jun has no intention of reopening business, but at the same time, like, without JKTCG, prices will just spiral out of control, and guess what? There really will be no reason to play this game over Modern. I make that joke all the time, but at the same time, like, people will be like, well, English prices are starting to get better. I wouldn't say necessarily.
It also depends on the titles you play. Like, if you're playing a multi expansion standard title, then yes, you'll have a very rough time. Konosuba, last in Konosuba, basically.
Like Konosuba is the most egregious example, because guess what? If you want to play anything outside of Legend of Crimson, oh dear God, oh my God! Like, just for frame of reference, hell, let's look up how much Aqua. Yes, the infamous Aqua is on TCG Player right now. The nearest even remotely reasonable price. Right, I forgot the fucking search doesn't even use it. White Schwartz, here it is. And yes, I'm actually looking this up just to illustrate a point. Like, it's kind of sad that, to even get a card like Aqua, Aqua's a bloody staple, and yet it's basically impossible to get. I'm like, bear with me one moment,
right.
please.
While Gavin does that, Jun was arguing, he thought that JKTCG as an entity, he was afraid of it having simply too much power in dictating how the market should go. And he thinks he and his team have absolutely no right to keep that up with actual established vendors in the market.
And it's kind of funny that he says that, but at the same time,
he's hoping capitalism will do its thing, basically. He no longer wants to play regulated economy.
No, the correct term would be monopolistic competition here. But that's the problem. Capitalism won't do its thing. In fact, it's only becoming more and more of an oligopoly at this point. Actually, I'm looking on TCGplayer.com. You can't even find Mesmerizing Water Goddess Aqua.
Like, you're just gone, kaput.
Kaput. Like, you try offering anything, like, literally, the latest price that I saw was somebody buying a Mesmerizing Water Goddess and Aqua base rarity was $65 United States. $65 goddamn dollars. That's the price of a brand new AAA video game with tax. Like, if that isn't ridiculous to you, I don't know what is. Like,
and the sad part is people will unironically do this to be able to play English Westworlds in a more competitive manner.
This is why English isn't worth it. That is the primary reason why English isn't worth it.
Right. I guess it would also be like I guess it would also be a good time to like bring up. I think you know people have also noticed that for Day Alive, you know, which is releasing, you know, this week basically.
Tomorrow.
JKTCT is refusing to put up any form of pricing because you know they said there are multiple reasons why they chose not to do it, but one of them is more of they want the market to decide from this point on.
The problem is that I get Jen's intentions, and I really hope they work. But at the same time, like as much as I want that to happen, that it's not going to. It's not going to happen because in a lot of cases, people are just going to charge outrageous prices. You know what? I'm actually going to call. I'm actually going to call this person out. Some of you may or may not have known the Singaporean Keep Min Yong. Both my co-host and I have had dealings with Keats before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keat wants 600 United States dollars for a playset of English Date Alive. 600 United States dollars.
And this is this is the price as of like this week, right? Like not we're talking
Yes.
like pre-order price or anything like that.
No, that's at the price of this week.
Okay, because you know, for those of you who actually like decide to like look ahead a little more and like, oh, I want to pre-order a playset, y'all probably get the right thing.
Well, let's see here.
I think no one was offering a pre-order price of above 375 American dollars.
Right. I mean, they sold out almost immediately. For 600 United States dollars, I could go from nothing to death and taxes. Literally. A top tier meta deck for modern. I could buy Tron, mono green Tron for 561. Amulet Titan for 620. Eldrazi Tron for 582. Boros Burn for 450. Like, the list goes on and on. Like, I could buy top tier staples. I could buy top tier staples in Modern for the price that Keat is asking for Date Alive. And bear in mind, this Modern deck could potentially earn me a Pro Tour invite. What is Data Live going to do for me for the same value? Congratulations, I got a certificate for $600. They're sweating my balls off. That Pro Tour invite could literally net me $1 million. And I can only imagine it's people's dreams to be able to play the game that they love and be able to make a living off of it and be able to pay the bills off of it. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame because at this point, English prices are more ridiculous than Moderns. And people say Magic the Gathering is unapproachable, expensive garbage. Like, I just went on MTG Goldfish right now and just listed off 3 to 4 top tier decks that are roughly around that $600. And I don't know about you, man, but you know, it would take time for me to learn these decks, but it'd be more fruitful than learning Data Live. I'll give you that much.
All right, but you know, even if we take like the idea of okay, you're not in card games to like attempt to go pro or anything like that. It's still kind of
Ridiculous.
It's ridiculous to go like I'm going to spend $600 for base rarity cards when like that's the thing. Like as far as I know, the master case is not $1,200 or anything.
A master case, I believe, is $1,600.
Which is effectively 2 cases worth or something like that, right?
Yes, and you're gonna get multiple playsets per master case. I believe it is about 2 per. I think that's what Connie said. per case. So you're looking about a master case. How many things are in a master case? Like how many?
I think a
How many
master,
pieces are?
that's what I was thinking. I think a master case supposed to be like 2 cases in one.
Oh yeah, it's 2 cases in one. So literally, you can get 4 cases.
So you know. Another thing like JKCG reveal is like being like not a so not like an actual trade secret, but like they price things out by for base rarity, they'll price it out such that basically across like the double R's and R's, they will add up to assuming the case does give 2 playsets, which I believe nowadays they do at this point.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. English did have a history of less than 2 playsets per case in the past, but we should be past those days now. So,
though I did hear you might occasionally get shortchanged on certain double rares. There's still a bit of randomization, but for the most part, you should get 2 of them.
Yeah. So how are they doing it? Assuming a case is like 750 to 800, they'll basically take half of that cost and divvy it up accordingly across the double R's and R's.
Like
that's like a typical way of how JKTCG does its price guide.
Right. So let's assume here that you can get that each playset sells for $350 and there's no deviation. There's no deviation within the case itself. You'll be able to assemble all 4 playsets. You should be able to profit, assuming that you can offload all 4 playsets and the foils, because we're discounting the foils completely.
Right. Like. Yeah, even if you do 350 a playset, which means you're kind of undercutting yourself there, but you could easily go beyond that 200 with the foils that you're pulling from a master case, right?
Right, but at the same time, you also have to people think, oh, I can easily make a profit off of that. You could, but you also have to have other things in consideration here. Like for example. Jun had to pay the rent, the space that he rented from the swap meet every week. He also had to pay employees, and depending on how Jun set up his business, he also had to pay himself a quote unquote salary.
Right,
it had to be at least minimum wage of the state.
Well, that's the thing though. The way that Jun ran this is such that he was effectively losing money every time he would sell singles. Period.
Right, and the thing is well, why do you think none of these playset sellers that popped up lately don't deal in singles? Period. Weiss is such a game where
you can't go all in, or you vendors don't want to be left with bulk.
Right. Vendors don't want to be left with bulk. This isn't Magic where bulk can be useful in certain circumstances, Pauper or even EDH. Hell, even the top tier decks that I just mentioned play a lot of quote unquote bulk. Let's look at Death and Taxes, for example. Let's see here. Archon of Emeria, 2 and a white. Flying, each player cannot cast more than 1 spell each turn. Non-basic lands your opponent's control come enter the battlefield tap, 2/3. To a lot of players, bulk. To Death and Taxes, actually a really good card. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, in the context of that deck, definitely.
In the context of that deck, of course. Flicker Wisp.
I don't get you. Continue.
Oh, yeah, Flicker Wisp, for example. A blink. It's a basic 3/1 flyer that blinks something for 3 mana. It's an uncommon, costs a quarter. Used in one of the top tier decks.
Don't get us wrong. Weiss Wars does have commons and uncommons that are definitely useful and are used in competitive decks, unironically. But the problem is, for every good uncommon or common, there's in the same set, there'll be at least another 12 or something that are simply unusable to the wide majority of players.
Well, let's take a look, for example.
Like even the magic decks don't even want things like that.
Right, so let's take a useful uncommon, something that isn't bulk. Smug Look Emilia. Smug Look Emilia, like, hello? One of the best anti-changes in the game is an uncommon, is not bulk. But for every Smug Look, there's a lot of garbage, man.
Right.
But I just proved in both games that, look, there are useful commons and uncommons, but too many vendors will be stuck with too much bulk.
And
they don't want to deal with the bulk.
Especially if it's especially if it's the people who are just doing it, quote unquote, through their backpacks.
Right, the backpack vendors, like, a certain guy who loves Megumin a little too much that we both know used to be a backpack vendor. I would often ask him, "Hey man, are you doing singles?" He's like, "I don't deal with singles, man." Like, you would be a very good customer of mine if you bought playsets, but you don't touch playsets. You only buy the singles that you need. Well, yeah, dude. Do you remember? I come from Magic the Gathering. And what does Tolarian Community College always tell you to do? Buy the singles you need. It is often the cheapest route and most effective.
And Magic the Gathering has a ton more people cracking open sealed product to begin with.
Right, and guess what we're doing with our bulk? Either selling it back to the store, giving it to newbies, or using them as coasters. Those are the three ways I've seen most people use bulk.
Right. Like, Magic, like, asking. The thing with Magic the Gathering versus, or even take, like, a bigger Bushiroad game like Cardfight Vanguard, the fact of the matter is, in those games, Magic, Vanguard, etc., you have a ton of people cracking open sealed product, which is why the singles prices in those games are, in general, nowhere near as absurd.
Well, in Magic's case, let's see here.
It gets absurd when we're talking, like, when we're talking, like, limited run stuff. Like, Masters laughs in your face.
Hello, Aether Vial would like a word with you, sir. Aether Vial, Sword of Fire and Ice.
Right, very, very old games like that, but, for each of those, you will, you will be able to find, like, a bunch of other relatively same price cards, right?
Right, like, it's...
Like, imagine if a single slime costing, like, $40 for, like, no real reason.
Jesus fucking Christ, pulls no.
Exactly. It wouldn't.
Or let's look at Stoneforge Mystic. $37 each.
Well, but if we take something like, I don't know if I remember the name, Open the Armory. It doesn't cost nearly as much.
Oh, hell no. Open the Armory is dirt cheap and is a much more expensive version.
Alright, let's begin with Magic. Magic is a big enough game that alternatives do exist. They're not as effective, but if you really want to build a budget version, it is within reason.
Right. In Weiss, you try replacing Aquaman.
Right, that's the thing. Like, you really can't, right?
No.
Right,
replacing
or you take Raid Zero. What's replacing Blue-haired Maid Rem?
You don't.
Or what's replacing a Royal Election candidate Felt?
Felt is so cheap, honestly.
Okay, Felt. Okay. That Felt's actually cheap. Okay, I'm sorry. I got it. Okay. Oh no. What is replacing, say, Silver? What was it? Silver-haired Beauty Amelia.
No.
Exactly, right? And those two blue cards I named. Ooh, you don't even want to look at the prices right now.
Emilia was $8 each. Rem, I believe, was $10.
Was keyword.
I looked last week.
But you're talking in JP though, right?
In JP, of course.
Right, but I'm purposely bringing these up in the English context here.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope is definitely the right answer.
They're Stoneforge expensive.
Or worse,
Like,
or debatably worse.
debatably worse. Like White Schwartz as a game is so niche that your staples are absurdly overpriced. And Bushiroad has never heard of
Right.
reprints.
The Neo standard format doesn't help it one bit. Like, the Neo standard format is a double-edged sword. Let's face it here. It's a good thing
It's
because, it forces people to, like, play within, like, the title. Cool. Your collectible deck cannot be mixed up with those pesky or online cards or so on. Okay, cool. But at the same time, because you're locked in there, your staples can only be obtained through products that fall under that title.
right. So
But like you cannot replace Bunny Girl Young with something that you found in Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai.
but it's kind of absurd that I look at some of these English cards. I'm going, the Darkness Takitsubo is $30. That same $30, I could buy an Ugin the Spirit Dragon instead. Again, some people might confuse some people might make the statement, why don't you just go play Magic instead? Because honestly, I like Weiss. I love the game. But
we just always see it collapse on a unsustainable economy.
Right. I don't want to see the game unsustainable. Like the English version of the game, I'd hate to say it, but the English version of the game at this rate is unsustainable. I hate
like the only way that you could keep up is you were smart enough to buy cards you were smart enough to pre-order your cards.
Right.
And that's the thing. The wide majority of players don't live by this mantra.
I mean,
almost nobody's gonna go, oh yeah, I'm gonna unironically throw $300 or $400 on several months before the thing even comes out.
What if it turns out to be hot garbage?
Right.
Like, for example, excellent example I can come up with. Nichigasaki. We have seen 13 cards. And for those of you that have listened to recent casts, you have heard me whine about how good these Nichigasaki creatures are. I still haven't placed in my pre-order because I'm like, I don't live by the pre-order mantra. I come from Magic where pre-ordering, FR, no? Pre-ordering is for limited play and chumps. I'm sorry, but I don't play limited, and I'm not a chump. I hate to say it, man, but pre-ordering, FR, like, with pre-ordering, you accept the risk that your set could be absolute hot garbage that you will never touch outside of, like, the first month or so. Or outside of very special occasions. You're not going to bring that to a tournament, in all likelihood.
Right, and if we're talking like the less competitive player, like more casual players, they're definitely very few of them will go. Yeah, I'm gonna unironically go down $300 to $400 American dollars to pre-order a playset 3 months out.
Like the casuals don't do it, and the sweat don't do it. Who's there left to target at that point? Like
some of the sweat does it because they're like some of them are willing to take the risk. And,
okay.
And, okay, then, that's fine.
But again, that takes their bitching on social media card away. They have that right taken away because you chose the risk. You knew the risk associated with it. You took the gamble and you lost.
Right, but all in all, the wide majority of people that play this game would much prefer to buy singles, but
what singles are there?
Right, the problem is, unless you are a vendor with like a big AF warehouse, like the ones that are operating like a storefront, your Ideal 808 or someone like that, or you are one of the big guys on the Weissware section of TCG Player, because you also happen to sell like other card games, you probably don't got like you want to be a vendor, you probably don't have all that space to carry a bajillion leftover singles from your sealed products.
So let's take for example my own local shop here. So Darkside Games, for example, they are a Magic vendor. They were nice enough. They were nice enough to let us play Weiss at their store. Otherwise, we'd be completely without a storefront. The only business reason why they accepted us is because we are Magic players. Only reason. Otherwise, get lost.
I say every single one of you engages with Magic?
Most of us do. Most of us
Okay.
do. In fact, I have bought a few singles from them. You know, just in case I ever do plan on returning to Magic full time. You know, I want to slowly assemble, say, Tron, Azirius Control, you know, Death and Taxes. I do want to assemble my modern decks just in case. I do want to come back and play. You know, if I do ever return to Magic, it'd be playing some modern. Because I'm like, I don't feel like dealing with rotating formats, and I don't feel like dealing with CEDH, so fuck it. Might as well go to the next cheapest but competitive format. Modern it is. But the problem with English as a whole is the fact that it's number one, it's partially Bushiroad's fault, but I also have to blame the community too on this one. I honestly have to, because you guys don't have to charge absurd prices. You can get away with it, of course, but y'all are greedy.
Okay, sure. If Daylight happens to be good like 3 years from now, sure, $600 for your playset at that point, okay, possibly a little more reasonable than trying to do it on release week.
But English is getting more releases.
It is.
Now, of course, we don't know anything about 776.
That's the thing. Like, okay, I can understand if like you have a playset of stuff from like years ago, it's still coveted. Okay, it's worth the higher price because Bushiroad's not reprinting anymore, or for the most part, right? Okay,
right.
That's one thing. Like, okay, sure, I can understand that idea. You know, it's still not a good thing, but I can understand it. You could justify it much better than, oh, this is clearly tier 1 or tier 0, depending on who you ask. I'm gonna up prices up the wazoo on release week. Like, that's not how economics work.
And again, a lot of these people do not understand how economics works, and they're only in this for short-term gain. They're not thinking about the long term here.
No, definitely not. Well, I mean, that's another thing though. Like, you know, killing other people, you know, killing other like people who have worked in the vendor business will kind of tell you a little fact here that this should be more your passion, not your living.
If you're relying on this as a business to live off of, I'm sorry to say this.
I hope you do something else during the day. I hope you do something else like when you're not selling.
I hope you have a daytime job, because
or you have like a big AF portfolio to like your investments are like are somehow that stupid right now.
Right. Because if you honestly ask an LGS owner how much they make, they'll tell you that they're barely scooping by. The majority of them will tell you they're barely scooping by. Like
I guess it's the reality. No one comes into this going, oh yeah, I could make stonks off of selling cards to fellow players.
No, honestly, if you think that, boy.
Like you know, even June admitted it. Like, he was making less doing this than if he were to work an entry-level job at a fast food restaurant.
You mean this? We're talking federal minimum wage, $7.25. We're talking federal minimum wage here. Now, let me ask the audience: how many of you can picture yourself making less than $7.25 every single hour that you worked for 5.5 years? How many of you put it in the comments. How many of you would actually work and be happy about it?
Knowing, assume you are like June. You are opening up your own little storefront.
Yes. Now, of course, little known fact, it's kind of one of those dynamics which makes me go, boy, I honestly hope that your basic needs are taken care of elsewhere, because selling cards is not going to take care of your basic needs. Not even close.
Right, like even MTG Finance, pretty much all of them are doing something in the daytime.
Majority of MTG Finance are high-level engineers or former high-level engineers with expansive portfolios. They're rich.
Right,
They
like,
were rich
but
to begin with.
okay, right. They like MTG Finance is not what's making them, or it's not what is carrying their living. They were already doing that by doing something else.
MTG Finance. Think of MTG Finance as part of their portfolio. That's what MTG is to them. It's part of their portfolio.
Right. It's same with their, it's up there with their 401ks, their IRAs, and any brokerage accounts they have.
To them, and a Magic card is the exact same thing as a stock of Activision Blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they treat it, and that's how they will continue to treat it until regulation is done.
Right. It is by no means a way to sustain their current living.
But regardless, though, is English sustainable? No, not at this rate. And the collapse of JKTCG, in my opinion, will only accelerate the death of English.
Which,
I hate to say it,
again, do not get us wrong. We don't want to see that. We do not want to see that. Because
at the beginning of this rant, I even said JKTCG was a necessary good. Necessary.
Right.
I was just like, poor Jun, and we're not saying that sarcastically.
Right.
Poor Jun.
But Jun does have high hopes, and as Gavin and I have already made it clear, we would want to see the world that Jun envisions to come true. The problem is more of, can it?
Will the community allow it?
Right. And when you have people like Keep Me Young unironically selling a playset on release date for basically double the pre-order cost in some cases, that sounds like a lot bogus.
Lord have mercy.
And that's the other thing. This person we speak of, he's someone that people will price around.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like, JKTCG's gone. Who we look to next? Keep Min Young.
Keep Min Young, Wilson as well. Other Singaporean vendors.
Right, Singaporean specifically.
I'm sorry, but I will name drop if it's relevant, and Keat is very relevant because guess what? People are unironically buying from Keat. I'm just like, that's one thing I will agree with Foring with. That if Keat is our only if Keat is the quote unquote new JKTCG, English is fucked. It's fucked, man. Oh man.
Right, I'm starting to wonder, like, is the 600 including the shipping from Singapore?
I do not believe so.
Like, he would still charge you shipping on top of that.
Yep.
And I don't know about y'all, but I think y'all know like the current situation, especially here in America. I think
Same Post.
I think well, no, that's the thing. I don't think Sing Post is even sending out here right now. So
I believe it's DHL. I believe he has to DHL it.
Yeah, that's why I asked. Is that 600 including shipping?
I do not think so. I do not think so.
You are paying 600 plus whatever he's charging you for that DHL shipping. Oh Lord, have mercy.
So judging based off Fiery Tan and Wilson charge, you're looking at $640 for a playset of Data Live from Keep Min Young. $640. I'm sorry, but what? What? This is the reality that we live. This is the reality that English players have to live in. For reference, the most expensive deck that I can think of for base rarity in Japanese is Charlotte. And Charlotte, you can find. I found 2 sellers for $350, including shipping within the United States.
On top of that, despite the original Charlotte being like years old, like we're talking
2015, 2016-ish.
right, like English was in its infancy. But you can't, if for some reason a legacy support released for a set in English from that year, oh, that shit's gonna like skyrocket.
Like I said, Konosuba alone makes the 4 modern decks that I listed look like child's play. You could buy the modern deck and eat at Korean barbecue multiple times for the same bloody price as Konosuba.
And that's cool. And that Konosuba is assuming you actually found the darn cards to begin with.
Correct. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. And
like
JKT,
the only ones who can feasibly play Konosuba competitively are the ones who were able to get their stuff on release date or before it,
or have connections.
But
have connections that are not publicly available.
Connections, we will, that's like a very, very small minority of people.
Right. I'm talking through public channels, publicly available.
Like, unless you you were there around the time that people were taking orders for Konosuba 1, or you were or Konosuba 2, and you were able to, or you were able to like capitalize on like, good prices like around release date. Like, okay,
good
sure.
Luck.
Then good for you. You actually have you could do it.
Right, but if you didn't, good luck.
Right.
Like, majority of people will tell you, well, if you can't afford it, don't play the hobby. They do have a point.
At the same time,
even if you do have the money,
should the hobby be such that you need to, should the hobby be such that other luxury activities look like child's play? Like, you could have a nice set of golf clubs and go to several rounds at a very prestigious country club for the same price as buying Konosuba from scratch, assuming you're able to find someone with the cards.
You could
potentially FR. It's gonna cost me more to play Konosuba than to play golf.
Or you could do the grinding at Modern and potentially go to the fucking Pro Tour. Like, the bloody Pro Tour. Potential prize, $1 million. A king's ransom.
Okay. Let's take a different kind of thing that's like more comparable to our audience here. No, let's face it, Gavin. Most of our audience would probably not consider Magic to begin with, so I'm gonna give them this alternative. Okay, for the price of a Konosuba English deck, if and when you are allowed to do it again, you could travel, probably first class or something, to Japan.
No, you couldn't travel first class to Japan. No.
Okay.
No. If you come on, dude, you watch infotainment, you watch the aviation channels. You should know those prices. Hell no.
Okay. I take that back, but you will be able to get to do some nice things in Japan for about a week or so with that money.
Yeah, easily. Like it's kind of sad that
Like, I know some of y'all love to go to Comic Con and stuff, or would want to buy stuff there. Y'all can have like the shopping spree of your life at Comic Con 100 or something for the money you're gonna spend on English Konosuba.
but the majority of people making that argument are like, the money that I spent was worth it. I'm like, was it truly? I'm sorry, but it's one of those things that just makes me go.
I'm pretty sure that anyone that owns Konosuba definitely did not pay like current market price for it for the
Right.
entire deck.
Right,
That'd be absurd.
I'm talking literally. Take a match, light it up, burn your current deck, and rebuy it from scratch today. Like, it's one of those things that makes me go, how do you expect somebody who is coming in today that wants to play competitive and you recommend them Konosuba? FR? Like, that's ridiculous. They can't, even if they could afford it. I'm talking those rich engineers that I talked about from earlier. Those rich engineers will have a hell of a time finding it. And we're talking people that are rich. You know, the hedge fund managers. We're talking hedge fund managers, engineers, doctors, investment bankers, lawyers, you know, the wealthy elite. Yet can they find the cards? Probably not. And to them, yes, the $1,000 or so will seem like a drop in the bucket to them. But what about the rest of us? Like
you would argue the average income of a Westeros player is definitely like at best lower middle class.
Right, lower middle class. And we're talking expendable income here. We're not even talking about, you know, paying for your 1-bedroom apartment or paying the mortgage on your small house. Or, you know, we're not, you know, we're talking expendable income here.
Wait. The last thing we want is for Westeros to become a game of the 1%.
Right, where you have to like, in order to afford a debt, you have to mortgage your house, like remortgage your house, like FR. Don't do that.
Right. At that point, I unironically quit Westeros completely.
Nope. Burning my cards. I'm done.
Like, you know, I don't want to have to do that, but if the market goes uncontrolled, that is a possibility.
The game's fucked at that point, man. The game's fucked.
And, you know, we don't want to see it come to that. And, you know, that's why we're kind of lamenting here that JKCG, you know, to make the, you know, this heavy decision to do such a thing.
To terminate probably what's the last bastion of it. Like, and guess what? Do you honestly think the Sweat are willingly going to give up their quote unquote power over the game just so they can see it continue to live on? I doubt that. I severely doubt that. Like all of the money men and the Sweat players. No, I don't see that happening. Do you?
It's not going to be easy for them to come to that consensus.
To give up their power so they can see the game live. I think the majority of them rather see the game die at that point. They're like, fuck it, game's dead. I'm not giving up my power. Like,
at that point, we're kind of arguing, what were you in this game for to begin with?
I think it's to stroke their ego. Honestly speaking, I think it's to stroke their goddamn ego. I mean, I can see why Bushiroad doesn't award actual prizes.
Right, you know, there's a very, very early Kigami interview where he goes, I don't want to attract that kind of player.
I mean, can you imagine if Weiss offered the king's ransom I mentioned earlier. Ooh, this game would. Well, this game would see a gigantic influx of the Magic crowd. And guess what? Prices will be even worse.
Right. Imagine
Well-
imagine instead of Game Life costing the $600 plus shipping that King Ming Yong is selling you, it becomes the price of Jung mid range.
Judd mid-range, let's see here, is currently according to MTG Goldfish, tabletop version is $1,564.
And can you imagine base rarity? Day Alive being the cost of Jung mid range base rarity.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, well, but it'd be like a very, very disgusting reality,
Where's Spirit Kadumi and Liliana the Veil? Cost around the same thing. By the way, Liliana the Veil has gone down in price. She used to be 250 each. Now she's less than 100. That's kind of disgusting now that I just said that.
That is pretty disgusting.
It's pretty disgusting.
But I was like, dang, this man's comparing War Spirit Kurumi to Liliana to effing Veil?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Both cards are pretty evil, man.
They are. Well, for different reasons, for obvious reasons. For different reasons.
Right, but at the same time, goddamn, you see Liliana the Veil drop, you're just going, okay, I need to destroy that thing immediately. I need to get rid of her immediately, otherwise she's gonna send my ass to Value Town.
Pretty much.
Oh, but it's, oh god, like, it's just kind of just disgusting just to watch this market. I'm just going, here's a semi-unrelated note. Somebody tried to sell Kanokari boxes for 175 each.
Excuse me, Konokari was released not that long ago.
Yes. Kanokari released
Where's the justification?
according to eBay, it's 175 each.
eBay? Really?
Yeah.
Effing Bay as your
Yes.
justification.
Yes, FR.
Oh, Lord. There's no savings on these people, is there?
John, please save us.
Speaking of Jung, we we should go ahead and talk about why he's so important, right?
Okay, so let's talk about. So basically, final thoughts on English as a whole and JK.
Like JKCC was, as Gavin was saying, it was kinda that, like, it is a foundation, and without a foundation, the house that is the English Westwards market either needs a new foundation to replace it that's also sturdy, or it's gonna collapse in on itself.
My final thoughts. John, please save us, man. Come back.
Right, no, we're gonna go ahead and transition, onto Jung. So, okay, Jung Oh and his role. So, Jung, the guy that runs JKTCG, so he is an accomplished veteran player for both the Japanese and English games, with quite the number of accolades, such as at the BCS 2017 in Long Beach, California, at the Bushiroad Grand Festival, he was able to get third place there. He also became the North America World Grand Prix Continental Qualifier champion for the Japanese game in both 2017 and 2018. And in the latter, he was also on a first place team for the Bushiroad Spring Fest. We have Paul V and Neil P here. And he was also able to make a top 16 finish in the 2020 North America World Grand Prix Online Continental. Japanese rules with some revisions to cover the new English originals, and he purposely names every all his decks JKTCG to raise awareness for his resource and business. And these accolades and his clear willingness to go out of his way to open up sealed cases for the English game to compile these price guides, and also providing those high resolution scans definitely demonstrates he is very much dedicated to seeing WiseWords grow in the English-speaking community for both the English and Japanese games alike.
Okay, here's my initial comment. I will say this out. I will say this now. It may sound ridiculous to most of you, or to some of you. Jun-Oh is probably the best player in the U.S. in terms of Weiss.
I won't even attempt to disagree.
Why would attempt to disagree? He's like, yeah, Jun-Oh is probably the best player overall.
Like, sure, there are players that can go toe to toe with him,
I've done it.
but at the same time,
I mean,
when it comes to the number of accolades, I don't know who's really going to try to I don't know who can really compete with that.
Okay, the only thing that holds Jun back is his deck choice. If Jun played S tier decks like the rest of us, we're fucked. We're fucked.
I feel like July purposely doesn't play S tier decks, probably to like also like make it harder to counter him in general.
Well, yes, of course. Like, okay, so let's consider
Jun is very much an anti-meta style of player.
Okay, Jun is what I want Soul Sleeper to be. Jun is the idealized Soul Sleeper in my eyes. I've told him this. I've told Soul Sleeper this. He's like, really? You think? Yeah, Jun is an idealized version of you. Like, when I think of the ideal anti-meta, I think Jun. Like, let's consider what he took at the time. He took Railgun to 2017 and 18. Okay, so using our little handy dandy tier chart, where would you place Railgun in 2017?
2017, I would definitely argue was it was definitely either high A tier or lower part of the S tier.
Really, at the time? Interesting.
Okay. I guess we're talking late 2017. So, in that case, late 20. Oh yeah, I remember. This is late 2017 because that is when the game will occur. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, middle of A tier.
Middle of A tier. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say lower A tier, honestly, but like Railgun was still very powerful at the time.
Yeah.
You know, it got nice juicy targets to blow up.
Mm-hmm. And you know, decks that became victims of this definitely had trouble coming back from that.
It blew the S tier up.
Right, most S tier decks were reliant on those early play boards.
Love Live Sunshine, ReZero, Vivid Strike. Those are the main three you wanted to watch out for.
Right.
And guess what? Railgun beat all three of them, which is an incredible feat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, Railgun's main weakness, its reliance on the 2K1, and that stock soul combo didn't generate you cards in hand, which Misaka which you needed to pitch for Misaka. That's why you ran the 2K1 unironically.
Right, just to really, keep that hand size up.
Right. 2018.
Well, like, do you remember which version Jun did play? Did he like do 3 2K1s in one door?
No, he played 4-gate. He was 4-gate at the time. And in fact, Jun didn't even run the early play, dude. He didn't even run it.
He didn't. He tried to win primarily by using cards like Dragon Punch.
Right. Dragon Strike is amazing, man.
Yeah, Dragon Strike. There we go.
Oh, holy shit. It didn't matter if you got Jun to 1 first or second. Dragon Strike kicked your ass if you were Sunshine. I remember a lot of Sunshine players. Jun ate Sunshine players for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn Dragon Strike. Pretty much how you win that matchup is Mari.
Right.
That's pretty much how you win.
And in 2018 was when he finally started playing like the 1 copy of the early play.
No, he still played 0.
Oh, I thought he played 1.
No, he didn't play any at all, actually.
Oh.
But what was funny is, man, by 2018, I was just like, where would you place Railgun by then? I'm thinking FR by then, man.
I don't know about FR. Shadow Realm, probably.
The Shadow Realm? Really, man?
Oh, wait, no. I keep forgetting which one's higher.
Shadow Realm, then FR.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I would say like I would say like somewhere in Shadow Realm makes a little more
Somewhere in the
sense.
Shadow Realm? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you have to. Well, actually, no. The game really slowed down around 2018-ish.
So Railgun still has a fighting chance.
Right, and
Railgun feasts on most silver games.
And it feasted on Hino Logic, which was the main contender at the time.
Right, because Hino Logic existed, Railgun's like sure Railgun may not like be terrible, but because Hino Logic existed, bingo.
Oh, and Sunshine and ReZero were still running around.
Yes, they were. Like, well, sure, Vivid Strike was gone, but Vivid Strike exited. In came Hino Logic.
I'm just like, honestly, Vivid Strike wasn't terrible in 2018. It was just more of she was already showing her age, and it was very apparent.
Right.
Now I'm gonna make a quick detour here. 2019. Oh boy. Okay, so I was sick at the time, and I'm just going. I was basically just trying to get a reprieve. I was 1-0. Luke announces round 2 pairings are now up. I tell Soul Sleeper his pairings because he was towards the top. I look towards the bottom of my list. It's my name versus Jun Oh. My exact reaction: fuck. I literally just said the word fuck like that. I'm like, oh man, oh I'm screwed now. Like then I went towards the front of the room, towards the bathroom. For those of you who are familiar with Hammer Girl, like co-host should be, he knows exactly where I'm talking about. It's towards the back of the store, next to the bathrooms. Then I saw several other peculiar figures there. A lot of the Southern California and Ileana crew were there. And I sat across Jun. My heart was racing. I was thinking, oh crap. I'm screwed now. Fuck. I'm going against the 2-time national champion. I don't know about you, man, but I'd be extremely nervous. You're a relative unknown amateur at the time to most people. And boy. I think people were placing bets in their head, like thinking, Jun's going to exterminate this amateur. Jun's going to exterminate this amateur off the board. This should be a free win for Jun. Okay. His number was 39. He was wearing a Diva shirt. I was expecting the Diva matchup. Like, dude, all the signs were there. Like, you of all people should know that Jun is a big Diva fan.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, in fact, for a little quick fact, Killing I met because of a common love for Vocaloid.
So I'm just going, okay. I'm thinking to myself, am I prepared for the Diva matchup? Yes, I am. So I just felt a little bit more confident, thinking it's Diva. Jun's grave appears up. I see Mikasa. I see Misaka. I'm just like, oh fuck. I see Bitty.
I was like Mikasa. Oh no, we're making this mistake.
Oh, excuse me. That's why I usually just call her Bitty, man.
True.
Come on, man. I know her nickname better than her actual name. And I'm just going, oh, no. Okay, I see Bitty. Oh, wait, it's Railgun? Again?
Railgun 3 years in a row, that's good.
FR? I thought, I asked you, like, FR? He's like, yeah. I was just like, I was thinking to myself, I was tempted to ask Jun, is this the exact same list? Please tell me this is not the exact same list.
I know we make edits between 2017 and 2018.
I was thinking, is the exact same list from last year? Please tell me this isn't. So throughout the duel, Jun wasn't canceling with crap. Like, he was getting his ass pummeled. So was I, by the way. I saw Jun play one climax. It was a random gate. He played one gate throughout the entire game. Beady beady combo at one? What's a combo, man? Like, I missed timing on my on-attack salvage. It's because of Jun I know how that fucking combo works nowadays. You're supposed to grab your guy before you trigger, otherwise you miss timing.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Jun. You taught me that valuable lesson, man. And I still know it to this very day, thanks to you. Anyway, so regardless, I had Jun on the ropes. I was the one sweating bullets. Jun was 100% calm the entire time. I was like, the hell? He's getting pummeled. All of his climax are at the bottom of the deck. He kept whiffing brainstorms. He kept eating it. I'm thinking here. And he wasn't playing climaxes, so he wasn't drawing them either. I was like thinking to myself, Jun is either really good at poker, like he really has one of the best poker faces I've seen, or they're all at the bottom of his deck. Like, what would you be thinking at the time, man?
I mean, based on patterns, probably the latter, right?
What?
I mean, it could be a little bit of both too, right? Like, you know, I guess
He
again,
isn't pl-
like,
he isn't playing them.
thing is this, you know, what incentive is it for any Western player to keep climaxes in hand?
Right.
There
He isn't
isn't,
playing.
right?
He isn't playing them. He isn't canceling, and he's whipping brainstorms left and right.
Right, so you're kind of going,
Where are they?
right,
They're all either in his hand or at the bottom of his deck.
but they're in your hand, why is he not doing anything about it, right?
Why is he playing? Why? Well, again, dude. Well, again, you're gonna slam gate for damage, or slam the stock soul for additional resources / damage.
Like, you know,
Even if you have to crash.
like, you know, but that's the thing, like, even a player like Jun should know to do that, right?
Otherwise, we wouldn't call him the best player in this country. You know, I'm trying to think intelligently, and what would I do in that situation? Slam him for damage, dude! Even if I have to clock for creatures every single turn, I can at least slam the climax I draw every turn. Right?
Right.
So, you know, push comes to shove, we're both at level 3. He couldn't kill me with Toma. He couldn't kill me. I barely survived. Oh, thanks, Hayate, for saving me in that duel. Otherwise, I would have hella lost.
And yeah,
Hayate's a very good card.
yes he is.
So, at the end of the duel, I was just like, what the fuck happened? Jun, did you just... He's like, yep. He signs the match slip and says, congratulations, you got me. I was flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it. Everyone else around me was like, the fuck? Did this amateur just take Jun out?
That's right, you were both already 0-1 at the time, right?
Yeah. Like, no fucking way. This guy just took this guy we've never heard of just took Jun out. And I couldn't, like, dude, could you believe, like if I had told you at the time, like if I had told you the matchup between, like, before the match happened, predict the winner of this matchup between myself and Jun, who would you pick? Be honest with me, man.
Of course I would have no choice but to pick you.
Right.
Right, like, you know, like, Gavin knows I do have a history with Jun. Like, again, I kinda keep repeating myself. Worrying off for Jun, this show will not exist.
Right. And you didn't know how I played back then.
I didn't. I didn't know how Gavin played until, like, literally last year.
But even then, even if you did know how I played, oh hell no, you would have pushed your chips and bet on Jun.
Right.
Dude, I'd be there with you. I'd be like, Elda, I bet against myself every time. I'd bet against myself every time because I acknowledge that, yeah, he's gonna fucking crush me.
Because, you know, Jun knows his stuff. Jun plays with very talented players.
And he's played against a diverse meta too.
Yeah, he does. Like,
He was confused.
He's the man that goes to locals 3 times a week if he could.
Jun is the epitome of a Japanese player. The epitome of a Japanese player. Though he didn't. He seemed confused on what Nanoha did.
Well, I would blame that more on his local area going Nanoha,
What's a Nanoha,
pretty much.
right? But like, let's say I put. Well, again,
I don't know how because I researched the title because I was a little curious because some people may for those of you who don't know I am a sucker for Nanoha.
well, let's say I put, for example, Alicization in front of Jun. Let's say I faced off against him this year in high level comp. Would he know what Alicization does?
I assume so.
If he didn't, I would be very surprised. If he didn't,
Right.
I'd be like, if I put anything that I would play in modern day in front of him, yeah, he's like, dude, I know this. I know your deck better than you do.
I believe
like,
it.
You know what? Fuck. You know what, dude? I'm the bloody pilot. I've been playing this for 6 months, and I still believe you.
Right.
Like, that's just how. Like, I'm not here to suck the guy off. I'm saying this out of earnest.
Right. These are out of utter respect for the guy.
Like,
I
barely know,
that's the game. Like, I know, Gavin. I assume from the way you could tell with the way that June plays Westworld, you could tell he is genuinely passionate of the game.
Yes. Yes.
Like, sure. He may seem very, very serene and calm, but you could tell he's also very, very passionate.
He's very methodical.
Right. Like,
okay, the game I described that I had with him, fucked the entire time. As calm as a beach wave, man. Like, damn. Like, most other players would be tilted, raging. You could tell in their body language. They're like, what the fuck? You know. I think most other players would have been devastated, crushed. Like, Ben Sheffley didn't handle that situation. Like, Ben Sheffley did not handle. I had a very similar game with Ben, and he was visibly pissed out. He was visibly pissed during the duel and afterwards, too.
it's get more, well, I will argue with that one. It's get partially due to his history with the title.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, you know the guy, you also will know a certain Nanoha fan.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to, like, know one of those two without the other, right?
Even I know who they are. And I'm just kind of this. I'm kind of the guy who just watches from the glass.
Right. Like, you know, even you're aware that the two are kind of like, they're almost like two pieces apart.
Peanut butter and jelly, pretty much.
Right.
Hell, I've also met some of their other associates, too. Rather nice gang, actually.
They are.
But at the same time, yo, dog,
They are Alfred Blood, though.
Aren't we? Well, I think most of us are.
I'd argue Illyana is quite bloodthirstier than, like, almost everyone else.
Even more than Southern California, man?
Prior to the year 2017, yes.
Okay, I was about to say, man.
Like, no, you see like how they behaved before 2017, like versus like how, like, Gavin, you know this. Before 2017, the majority of California slept. The only ones from California who would even go, I got my invite, can I go next, were June and a few others.
Mate, Randall? Question mark?
I thought Randall's first time was 2017.
Oh yeah, it was. Hilariously, I've been to Nats more often than Randall has.
Right, I know Mike Chang went before 2017.
Mike Chang?
Yeah, he went before 2017.
Mike Chang.
He went before 2017, but, you know, outside of, like, a very small select group of people, like, you know, you know, there was like that one rookie from the past, Aaron Red. He went, but he didn't go again after that. A fellow Love Live fan in my area went once, and he's like, okay, cool, I'm not going back again.
What? I mean, I mean, I've been wanting to go back. Actually, I've been wanting to go back.
Like
That's a very fun experience.
for them, it's more about like, oh, it costs so much money,
It does. And I will say it
and to
does.
them, it doesn't feel worth. Like it's like okay, maybe for like the one time, it sounded like a novelty, but I think it's like after that, what they basically can see the point of going there repeatedly.
And you know what? For me, it's more of, can I get a weekend out of here? Cool. Do I have an excuse? Yes. It's Nats time. Okay, sure. Let's fucking go, boys. Every time. Now,
Right.
it's Nats. Now, of course, we're not here to turn this into Nats 3.0. But at the same time, I'm just going, yo, dog. If you go to Nats, Jordan's pretty much there every time.
Yep, June. I believe June has been going there since they started in 2013.
Jesus fucking Christ! I thought I go there all the time.
Well, remember, June was playing before you.
True.
I don't.
What?
I do not think June. Well, I can't restart the game before June because I think June started in 2012 because of Diva.
But
But he has a heck of a lot more competitive experience than I do.
oh man, and I chose you. And I chose you to be my partner. Oh man, that's kind of ironic because, like, I don't know what Jun is at locals, but man, seeing him on that competitive score, seeing him on that match slip. Luck, please save me. Pulse before I die. Like, I think you understand my cry here.
Oh yeah. I definitely do.
And the competitive impact, like, bruh.
Like he definitely inspired people to play. Like he for the ones who like had Railgun but hesitate on it, he motivated people like them to start playing it again with games like Dragon Strike. He also pushed a flurry of like new Batman Ninja players, I believe.
What? Batman Ninja? That sounds a dank meme, man.
And you know, if you're like, hey, June show it could be done, I'm following that man.
Thanks for the free wins, gentlemen. I'll take it. I'm sorry, but you ain't Jun, baby. Hell no. Excuse me while I sign that W on our match slip.
And you know, another thing is also like, you know, for those people who could actually like go to JKTCG's physical booth in Southern California, they like if you're a player that's looking for advice on like how to like make a deck more optimal or like how to play more optimally,
Sure.
Jung and his staff are very, very knowledgeable folks. Like you will learn from them one way or another.
If we had a team comp, like if we had a team comp and we saw JKTCG, I don't know about you, man. Would you be scared?
I'd be pretty scared.
Scared.
I'd be like, oh,
It's like-
understandable.
Oh, understandable. Might as well just sign the match slip and put L's on our columns and leave.
Of course, we're still playing out, but we don't have a
Right.
good chance.
We're prepared to sign those L's, boys.
Right. You're just thinking like, okay, we're gonna play this out. You know, it's gonna probably take like 20 minutes or something. Okay, again, I'm just gonna put that L there.
Put that L there, man. Cause man, oh, like I swear to God, like if we actually out JKTCG as a team, yo, how man?
True.
What happened in your game? Oh, he never canceled. Understandable. What happened in yours? He never canceled.
Oh, okay.
FR?
FR.
FR? It's like, oh, they never canceled. Oh, okay, that's how we won.
That's how we won.
Hey man. This is why hey man. Best of one favors luck. Hella.
Right, we were forced into best of threes. Oh no.
Oh, no. That is when we just sign the L's and just walk. Cause you want to spend an hour getting slaughtered? Be my guest. Spend an hour. But
Oh man.
it's one thing. Like if you see Jun at 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 Nats, say hi to the guy.
Right. He's very he's very humble, he's very approachable.
He's very approachable, and
York is
The thing is-
York is very humble too.
now and ask him. I want to have a conversation about the guy, about the current meta. I really do. Like, he's the type of guy that I would want to have that conversation with, because unlike most people, very humility is something that we could all learn. I feel that a lot of White Sports players lack humility.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
A lot of people keep saying like, I have the best deck for X title here.
FR.
Or hey, check out this build I went 4-0 at locals with. It's like the best deck for Princess Connect or something.
Cool story, bro. Where do you play at, and can I come? Can I farm? I want to farm you in your local, man. Oh, farm.
Or be able to take those decks out of the abyss and like have some fun again.
Oh yeah. Because I have this giant pile of decks that I call the Abyss.
Like yo, I'd be down to come to your locals and play some Steinskate.
Steinskate, FR, man.
FR. LFG.
Hell, I'd love to take Guardian out of the Abyss. Or Bong Meme.
Yo, I imagine a day where I could like automatically go to locals with Phantom and like actually do things.
FR, man? No, you're gonna get fucking bodied. I'd love to take Hina out of the Abyss. Oh, but like, it's one of those things where Jun has inspired a lot of players.
The actions he has done, making English more accessible, making the game more accessible, teaching people the game in a way that they can understand. Like he has
being
helped
the goddamn champion
twice.
with FR tier decks and lower.
Like, oh my goodness, the man's amazing.
Batman fucking ninja, man.
I'm 16, adding 80, like a, how many people can say it was again? Like 67? I don't remember now. Or was it 82? I forget.
In the mid 80s somewhere, like 86, 87.
Okay. Yeah. Top 16 and, sure, maybe you could argue, oh yeah, people were just messing around because there was no travel fee this time.
2017, 2018, FR.
Right, but I mean, Gavin, you saw the deck breakdown that we were able to get from the online Continental.
You mean that gym?
Yeah, exactly. Like
That gym?
like okay, sure. Some people brought like less than optimal decks, but
Here's your memes, man.
but then you go, okay, look at this. Oh, there's like 7 of y'all playing Summer Pockets. They just got Reflection Blue. Understandable. Some of y'all playing Adventure Time. An actual good deck. Oh, there'd be like 3 Sunshine players in here.
Let's see here. I see several Charlottes.
Right, several Charlottes. Got Capo making appearance.
The Kappa. Hello. Like
you definitely saw you definitely saw some things that could actually give you a run for your money.
What do you think I saw? Oh, not that gym, man. Not the gym.
Right, Gavin, Rango compiles this list. I showed it to Gavin, and Gavin just goes, "Oh Lord."
Welcome to the gym, man.
But even though this was free, y'all didn't have paid nothing. Y'all still bringing out your buff gym equipment.
I was like, oh god, I'm so glad. I was invited to go lift some dumbbells. I slept, literally. I forced this guy to go lift dumbbells for me. I'm like, nah, man, could you go lift some dumbbells for me? Shit, I gotta sleep.
Right, sure. I need to finish same in the same rough ranking as Jung, but
you had to fucking sweat, man.
I had to one of the guys that a guy that beat me, that was definitely a very unconventional deck. I believe. Wait, I forget what they actually Killua himself that did that.
No, it wasn't.
I know it wasn't. Okay, never mind.
But at the same time, I'm just going, yeah, and Jun's all like, yo, dog, I'm gonna make the Super 16. With what? Batman fucking Ninja. That gigantic meme? The fuck?
And he proved it could be done.
Not only, well, the only reason Batman made it there is Jun.
Right.
His extra piloting skills. Like, I don't think anybody else could have fucking done Batman Ninja.
Or at least very few others.
I told Justin
Maybe
this. and
maybe
he's all
I'm confident like someone like Mike Chen could do it.
True, but guess who Mike Chang often trains with?
Right. That's why I said very few, if any.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Jun is like Goku. Jun's like fucking Goku, man. Like, oh my god. Like, I told Justin about this. He's all like, FR? Batman Ninja? Well, it's fucking Jun. What do you expect, man? The man's like a god of this game. Like, he's better than...
But that's the thing. Like, despite these accolades, Jung is willing to tell people how to do things in an optimal way. Like
Yeah.
Jung doesn't go, I have trade secrets. I'm not going to tell you.
The hell?
Unlike some people in trading card games. Or
No.
you know how in some trading card games, no one tells you like how they did something until after they make the accomplishment.
Right.
Like even on the way there, Jung will tell people like how to do things better.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jun actually would... Like, I've done this before. I've actually asked some people what they're playing at Nats. Some people absolutely won't tell you. I don't remember if I asked Jun, but he probably would tell you exactly what he's playing. He would probably tell you at least the set.
Right, but
Like,
against a player like Jung, knowing that is not enough.
Against a player like Jun, actually, that might be to Jun's advantage. Because guess what?
He will
Yes.
lure you into a false sense of security.
Exactly. They'll be like, yes, I'm playing Batman Ninja. FR? Remember whose mouth that just came from.
Right.
Most people won't remember whose mouth that just came from. I'm like, Jun could be playing a fucking trial deck and he's still a threat. Like, wait, FR trial deck? Yeah. Dude, he's playing a fucking trial deck. How big of a threat can he be? He whooped your ass. Oh. Wait, how did I just lose? Bruh, you underestimated Jun and a trial deck. Fuck. I'm just gonna go sit in that corner and be sad over there. Yeah, you kind of deserve it, man. Sorry.
And while you're at it, go to the nearby liquor store, pick up that 40. You might need it.
Or go make a reservation for the karaoke bar. Make sure they have Baka Mitai loaded up. What?
That's going to be a running gag now, isn't it?
What do you mean?
Dame gangen.
Dame nano yo. Oh my god, dude, it's more of honestly, it's gonna be one of those. It's one of those. I can't honestly see, like, okay, for this year's Continental, can you honestly see Jun winning again?
I wouldn't be surprised.
You know what? Yeah, I can't be on. I'm just like, Jun winning Continental. Water is wet. It's like, wait, what do you mean water is wet? I'm not surprised. That's almost a matter of fact. Like, if there's a single individual I could pick out, it would be him every time. Sorry, man, but if you got put against you, I'd be like, sorry, man, I gotta vote against you.
I totally get it. I would go against myself too.
Really? You would bet against yourself on that one?
Yes. Remember, Jun's the guy that taught me how to do this in this game.
And
well, he and Mike both, of course.
Well, yeah, and you have to remember, I barely beat him by the skin of my teeth. Like, even if you beat him, man, it's gonna be real fucking close.
Yeah, I could
It's gonna
imagine
be,
it.
it's gonna be real. Oh man, like if you're like, what would like knowing Jun, what would Jun even take? Let's say Continentals was next weekend. What would he even take this time around?
I wouldn't be
Like-
surprised. I would not be surprised if he picks Batman Ninja again.
Again? F4? Really now? What makes you say that?
It's the type of guy Jung is.
I see. I see. And what would you take?
Assuming it's next weekend, I am kind of forced to stick with Sunshine here.
Man. What do you think I would take?
You would probably take SAO 10th anniversary.
How the fuck did you know?
Which between Garrett Alicization, but I know you prefer 10th anniversary more.
I do, actually. Though, Alicization is growing on me. I love that deck of bits. Are you kidding me?
That's why I was like, I know you started liking more, but you still like 10th anniversary more.
That's because 10th anniversary has better level zeros, man.
You love what that Zero Lamb could do versus Alicizations any day of the week.
Oh man, Ozus and Mark II.
On top of Clean Cut.
Yeah, I was about to say, man. I think I'm.
On top of Spriggan's Source, Big Kirito.
Yo, dog.
You'd rather have that over Memory Release Yu-Gi-Oh! Any day of the week.
I was about to say, man, Spriggan Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't even compare. Spriggan Yu-Gi-Oh! FR versus Spriggan Kirito. No, let's fucking go, boys. Yeah, and guess what? We go up against Jordan rounds 1 and 2. Yo, dog. We talked about it afterwards. Yo, dog, how'd you do? We both made it to top 16. Okay. What was our only loss? We both said at the same time, Jordan. We're both like, FR?
No, it wouldn't be an FR. We'd be like, oh, okay.
Understandable. How did you lose to Judd? Orange Mermaid got cucked by JCs all day. Oh. Ow. Ow.
Get my people here that go like, that's their fault for playing Orange Mermaid.
And it's like 10:30. How did you lose to Judd? Yo, I never cancel where shit. I also kept milling climaxes. Oh, that's how he died. Oh, and Judd knew how to respond to my early plays. And do you think I had any climaxes left for endgame? No.
Oh, understandable.
I had died. And that's pretty much how we lost to Judd, both of us. Like, wait, dude, Midnight Ticket couldn't save you? No. No, man.
He's seeing it way too many times to know how to respond.
And 10th Annie, if Judd didn't know how to play against it, I don't know, man. Who is this guy? Why does he look like Judd? Seems kind of sus to me.
There is an imposter among us.
Exactly. There's an imposter among us. It's like, why does he look like him? You look like him. You sound like him. But you aren't Jun, baby. It's like, you know how to respond. He doesn't know how to respond to 10th Annie? Hello? I'm sure
Could you actually imagine like someone who like instead of naming themselves Jung O, they use Jung's online handle of Jung Kang? And then literally pretend to be like Jung, but it would then be made clear that they're not Jung.
I'd be like, wait a sec. I see Jun Kang just like going, oh, I'm fucked. I'm facing Jun again. And then in actual combat, the hell? You aren't Jun? You sure as hell don't play like him. I'm whipping you easily. Who are you, imposter? It's like, oh. Like, really, dude? Are you pretending to be Jun? Like, FR, man? Come on. Well, first off, I would imagine, how did this imposter make it to Nats in the first place if they suck?
Remember, you make it to Nats relative to your performance in your local area.
So, where does he play out? And can I come?
Wait. You remember the infamous Euro 2017 in Arizona?
Four invites, 6 players. Neither Vivid Strike made it. Poor Mike. He was a Vivid Strike.
Wait, how did that happen?
Actually, Mike explained it. I got sacked, and the other guy getting anti-change bombed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Fuka. I kept putting gold bars under Fuka. That's how I died.
Oh, understandable.
Do you see why? I told Mike. Do you see why I hate that deck now? Understandable. Gold bars are a bitch.
Cold bars.
Hello. I'm sorry. Gold bar Sims. Fucking dislike bomb the video. I don't care. Like, there's a reason why I hate that damn trigger by now. It should be very apparent. But regardless, guys, man.
I know. People, that's kind of thing, people are definitely wondering, why is it that we are discussing what is primarily an English-focused player who runs an English-focused community resource and vendor storefront on a channel focusing on the Japanese Westwards game?
Number one, I am one of the few players that is more familiar with Jun-Oh than JKTCG. Like, literally. I know Jun better as a player than I know than JK. Like, I've ordered from JK once. I am more familiar with Jun's accomplishments in Japanese than the Japanese format than JK itself. Like, it's the resources if you want. But anyways, continue.
We will definitely we will lead up into the impact of JKTCG and Jun-Oh on the Japanese game itself here.
So in the early days of JKTCG, Jun sold Japanese sealed products and singles alongside English stuff. However, as a result of multiple factors, Jun decided in late 2016 with a heavy heart that providing a means for players to purchase Japanese cards was no longer something JKTCG could continue to do. That said, Jun and JKTCG were instrumental in contributing a growing interest in the game of Weiss Schwarz, and he and his team have proven to be competent and passionate players who have helped and eased and assist curious and hesitant players in their transitions in the game, English and Japanese alike.
Right, so one of the things that people need to keep in mind in regards to like the type of business JKTCG is that the Frankenstein's collectible show that it's located in is also a host to vendors of other trading card games. Yu-Gi-Oh!, Cardfight Vanguard, at the time Future Card Buddy Fight, Magic the Effing Gathering, along with a bunch of sporting, along with like people that sell things like sports memorabilia, anime merchandise, comic book merchandise, comic books themselves, etc.
Yo, dog, I've been to Frankenstein's. Place pretty cool.
Right, it's a very nice place. If you're a jock or a nerd, you will find something you'll like at Frankenstein's collectible show. And that's the thing. Some people will just kind of like, they're doing like their usual business. Maybe like they're gonna like buy some anime merchandise. They're gonna buy some comic book stuff. They pass by Jun's little modest booth and they're like, oh hey, what's this? And then Jun gets an interested customer, kind of starts to like tell these people about the card game and stuff, right? Gotta start it off.
Right, and the funny thing is that
like I know for certain that like Jun has unironically gotten players into the game this way.
What's funny is when I came into the game, I actually looked at JKTCG for Japanese cards at the time because I was intending to buy toilet paper off Jun. Unfortunately, he was not selling toilet paper. I was like, oh, damn it. Like, where am I supposed to buy my toilet paper, man? But the impact... So, JKTCG itself didn't have as much impact on the Japanese game. Jun himself has the bigger impact.
Right, though, people will definitely equate the two.
What's funny is the man himself's all like, no. Please think of us as separate entities. Please separate the store from me. I'm like, and you know what? That's fair enough. I think
Right,
we've done
right,
a good
right,
job in this commentary of doing that.
right. But like the idea is more of Jung is the mind behind the resource and store.
But he isn't JKTCG.
Right.
Like, if you try to ask Jun if he has a certain card, he'll be like, I have no bloody idea. Check the website. Because honestly speaking, yes, Jun is the creative mind behind it. He honestly loves the game, and he will probably kick your ass at said game.
Right, like, Jung made JK Kiseki because of how he wanted to see the game grow. Gavin, you would kind of agree with me when I say this. Without a price guide for a game that's starting off in its infancy, it's really hard to grow a game, right?
Right, it's basically impossible.
Right, so JK Kiseki helped to, like, if there's anyone to thank for how English, like, got to the point where it is now with English originals and, all these other nice things that you guys now know about the English game up to this point, thank JK Kiseki and Jung Oh. That's
Right.
separately, but also together.
Honestly speaking, though, as someone even with no connection to the English game whatsoever, as someone who has no connection to the English game whatsoever, you know what? Honestly, this game wouldn't be here. Like, even as a Japanese version of the game here in the States, I think without Jun. I don't think Jun, like, the majority of people probably started off in the English game.
Definitely.
Even us bona fide Japanese veterans.
Okay, technically I'm different. I started with the Japanese game unironically.
Well. Hey man, I played the English game for like 2 months, and then I transitioned to the Japanese game.
Right, for me it was more of, I was already playing Japanese, the English game comes out, okay, I'll go ahead and support it.
Now, of course, as we said earlier, from here on out, it's going to be increasingly more and more difficult to support the English game. It's going to be more and more difficult. The Japanese game, though, honestly isn't so bad. In fact, the Japanese game is what I view as kind of a utopia.
Like, if anything, like, an entity like Jung or JKTCG has helped players come into the English game, but as a result, can also help people transition into the Japanese game.
Right. In fact, I think JK is the reason why Nova TCG exists. And those of you who are familiar with the Japanese game probably know of Brian's son and his shop, Nova TCG. I believe he's also located in the city of Industry, California.
Somewhere around there.
I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but regardless, though, Jun has helped the Japanese game more than most people would give him credit for.
Definitely.
Like, he is kind of the bastion behind. In fact, if you were to ask me today, I would say he is the bastion behind Japanese competitive play now. He is the bastion. He is the thing that you kind of want to be. Like, who wouldn't want to represent the US at Worlds? Jun has not only done it once, but twice. Sure, he has never become world champion. So, honestly speaking, if somebody had if Jun became world champion, would you be able to believe it?
Oh, definitely.
I'd be like, you know what?
He earned it.
I'll be like, God damn, he's that good. He is that good. He is the bloody world champion. And, I'm just going, I would not be ashamed. I would not be ashamed about losing to him. I'd be like, what could I... Instead of saying, why did I lose, it's more of, what could I have learned?
Right. And, I would argue, the more you play against Jun, the more you will learn.
I wish I could play against him on the regular, man. I wish I could.
Just imagine, sometime down the line, Jun, unironically, opens up, a temple-style, dojo or something for White Source.
Fuck it. I'll go there. I'll go there and take some lessons. Shit. And I'm not here. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or say that I suck. It's just more of. It's more of I want to learn more about the game. Despite already been playing the game for 5 bloody years and owning a wall of meta decks, there's still a lot I could learn about the game, and that goes for you too, man. I think both of us could.
Definitely.
Like, oh my god. So sometimes, man, what to do in stressful situations? Fuck, you've been rocketed to level 2 by a competent player. What do you do at that point? Like, you gotta stay calm. You can't just panic.
Right.
You can't just rage either, because you gotta stay calm.
None of those will advance your game state.
You must be calm, serene. And of course, you have to know what to do in crisis mode. Like, I think that's one of my biggest faults. I think you could agree with that, man. Crisis mode for me. Like, oh, damn it, I suck in crisis mode. Even after all these years, I still kind of suck in crisis mode. I'm like, oh, fuck. Of course, I'm not as bad as I used to be. Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy. A little too much COD rage. But regardless, the impact, like, I can't really speak on the impact of JK because, honestly speaking, I'm rather disconnected with the English game because of reasons I mentioned earlier. But on the Japanese side, man, if Jun leaves before us, man, that'll be a very sad day. If Jun leaves before us, but damn it, it'll be very like I can't see it. I can't see Jun leaving before either one of us.
Right, Jun is very emotionally attached to this game. Like he like those of you who watch his Q&A video, y'all will remember like he spoke primarily out of passion. Like you could tell from the way he was saying it, from the way that he was conveying the answers and so on. You could tell the man has an emotional investment in the game.
I wish I could have submitted more questions for him, but honestly, I couldn't think of any at the time that were already asked. But I'd love to sit down with Jun and ask him more questions. I'd love to. Honestly, in the future, I hope to do a part 2 of this. I really hope to. Like, with him on the cast itself, because, well, what's better than having the man himself on the show? But regardless, my final thoughts on Jun. Hot damn, I'd love to go back into combat with the man.
Yeah, definitely. Jun and I would definitely need to catch up a bit more.
Like, I'd love to go into combat with the man because, hot damn, I'd love to spar on a somewhat regular basis with one of the best players, probably the best player in this country. Oh man.
For sure.
But any closing thoughts on Jun, man?
Like the man has made an impact. He has made a lasting impact, and the last thing I want to see is for players to put that to waste. English and Japanese game alike.
Boy, if you see him against Jun, oh boy.
I think all Westward players have something to thank Jun for. Period.
Right.
Like there is no way that you are in a Westwards in the English speaking community that you like. I like. There's no way that the way you are playing now is in no way like it's somehow unaffected by Jun's actions.
even if you play the Japanese game like myself, man.
Like you could tell it like people that you play against. Some of them were clearly like English players in the past or something.
Or hell, like just to even see his impact on the Japanese side of the game, like
that's another game. Like you see most people like say, "Oh yeah, I'm selling this thing, valued at JKTCG by at this amount."
Right. Or hell, even 25% off JKT.
Right, something like that.
I'm like, you know what?
Like Jun has definitely left a mark.
And I honestly wish he would have continued.
right? But the best that we as a community can do is learn to move on, do what we can to learn from mistakes that we do make down the line, do our best to prevent a tragic end. That's the like we do not. I don't know about you, Gavin, but I would definitely not want to tarnish June's name as a result of seeing this game tragically fall upon its player base.
We wouldn't have done this commentary if it wasn't like it did. Like we would like it's because of what Jun has done and his legacy, and for the man he is. It's the reason why we chose to do this topic in the first place, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there, I honestly wish. I honestly wish that he would continue for the sake of the English game. But I'll be certainly looking forward to facing off against him in the future in high level comp.
Right, but sure. Maybe we do sound like it does sound like we are that like June may be disappointed at us for saying like he is still needed because he doesn't want anyone to say that.
But
And we are hoping that he is right and that we shouldn't need him or his services anymore.
I would hope so, but I try to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. I try to be truthful in what I
Right.
say, but
That's why I said the idea of learn from our mistakes as a community. Maybe if people like learn to boycott things like $600 playsets on release date, we will be able to deter it. Be able to put things back in balance once again.
right.
Like we no one is forcing you to buy something at an exorbitant price. You like people. I feel like I think a lesson that June meant to teach us like indirectly is we as buyers have more power than vendors would like us to think.
I think Jun really wanted us to. I think he's really trying to tell the community, hey, use your brain.
Yeah.
Like, of course, in a much nicer way, but I think Jun doesn't want to see zombies.
Right.
The population being zombies. I'm just like, you know what?
And for that, we definitely hold utmost respect for the guy.
With nothing but respect.
Right. You're right. There's nothing really. There's nothing bad to say about him.
Well, regardless, I really hope that you enjoyed this commentary on Jun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a marvelous journey.
Right.
We thank you for your services, Jun.
Definitely.
But we hope to see you on the battlefield as well. So if you like this video, please feel free to comment, like, favorite, subscribe, turn that notification bell to all. And if you like what we do, please
Also support us on Patreon and Coffee.
Yep.
And
This is Doggle Card Reviews signing out.
Yep. See you all next time. Bye bye.